Hey, welcome back, folks. This is Babbaginator. We're in the long dark, currently hanging out in a forsaken airfield. Trying not to get cabin fever and trying to do the best we can to harvest what we can. Got a lot of stuff we want to do. Let's see if we get a chance to do any of it. We do have a bear coat to finish crafting. We have at least one arrow I think we could make. Yeah, we can make another arrow. We found our first flare shell, which after a very long time of not finding flare guns, suggests that maybe it is possible to operate a flare gun in the updated game. So. But they definitely made it a lot harder to... Okay, so... Just trying to navigate ourselves here. Okay, so what do we need? We want to... So, first things first, we want our arrow back. Okay. Now we want to get on with this. Put a couple more hours on this. Now I got cabin fever risk. But we got the whatchamacallit thing surging outside. See how long the glimmer fog lasts. Okay, let's go ahead and cook some more. $95. What's beeping? Oh, it finally stopped beeping. Yeah, we should have at least one stick, right? Okay, how are we doing here? Come on, guys, cooperate. Okay, just working our way through our cabin fever risk here. So how are we doing here? 3 bows, excellent condition. 17 arrows. We're supposed to stay down. Come on, stay down. if you're new to the challenge that we're doing Roll With It. You can read about it here. Essentially, it's an interloper run in which we have randomly determined stays in every region. So we don't know until we arrive how long we're going to stay, and we roll a die. And the length of time, the potential length of time increases over the length of the run. So first 50 days, it's 1 to 10 days in each region, and 1 to 4 days in each transition zone. But after day 50, it scales up. It goes 1 to 20 days in each major region, and then 1 to 6 days in each transition zone. At day 100, it becomes 1 to 8 days in each transition zone. And at day 150, it's now 1 to 10 days in each transition zone, plus the regular 1 to 20 in the other regions. Whew. Starry out. Starry sky. Any other repairs you want to do? Ooh. Hey, gang. How many have we visited? Well, we're doing pretty well here. We currently have visited, these are those zones we have left. We still have Zone of Contamination, and then we will exit through to Transfer Pass back to Broken Railroad FM. So, like, let's see, you can see our travel path that we've taken so far. So we've already visited HRV, Milton, Climb Down, Mystery Lake, Ravine, Coastal Highway, Crumbling Highway, Desolation Point, that's 8, Pleasant Valley, Timberwolf Mountain, that's now 10, Ash Canyon, 11, Winding River, 12, Forlorn Muskeg is 13, Basin is 14, Broken Railroad is 15, Transfer Pass is 16, and Forsaken Airfield is 17. So we visited 17 regions, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 regions left to visit, but we will have to travel through regions we've already visited. So we're doing pretty well. We've gotten a fair bit way through this challenge. Black Rock is the last one again. Yeah. I find it is so risky to go to Black Rock early, because it costs me far too much in terms of resources, whether I'm burning coal and wood to stay warm, or it has to do with the difficulty of managing food early on when I don't have cooking 5, or the problem of managing timber wolves when you don't have archery 5 and you can't sneak up and take them down, and they're hunting you instead. So yeah, so I think there's definitely different things we can do in Black Rock late game, better equipped with animal clothing, just be in a safer place. And then we also only have to go through Keeper's Pass once on the way in. Okay. Yeah, that is a strategy. Is we could try to win. We could do Keeper's Pass and not go into Blackrock at all. Oh, but you see, we'd have to go through Blackrock. Gah. Okay, so either we'd have to visit Keeper's Pass. Actually, it's not too bad, is it? Right? In theory, if we had a low enough roll in Keeper's Pass, we don't have to cross. Well, we would still. I would still want to stick my head into Keeper's Pass, both Keeper's Pass North and South, just to say I visited every region, but spend my time in the one that has the resources, and then just pop out. We'd have to go through Timberwolf Mountain to get to Blackrock. But you're right. It might be better to do it that way. Oh, we have to go through Blackrock a lot. I mean, PV a lot. I mean, it's just expected at this point. I think in a future run, we might try that. We might try... Next time we go through Timberwolf Mountain, we'll go, like... PV, Timberwolf Mountain, Ash Canyon, Summit, and then try to go to Blackrock afterwards. Maybe they do that. I'll have to study it out, like, to try the Timberwolf Mountain to Blackrock path, because I don't think I've done it very often. I think I've done it once by mistake. So I don't use that path, and I need to learn that path. So that might be a good excuse to try that. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately the Timberwolves really love camping on the exit from Keeper's Pass. They really love that section, and I've had a hard time really making that work. There's just a shortage of, like, nearby true shelters, like where you can actually stay warm without burning fuel.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Yeah, so maybe our next attempt we'll try that. Yeah, I keep thinking that's food I missed. It's not. All these paint cans look like they should be something useful, but they're not. But who knows? If we succeed this time around, then maybe we'll finally be able to say we're done with this challenge. 99. They're almost done. Hey Roller, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. How was your New Year's Day? Ah, drank the wrong one. Mine, pretty quiet. I did nothing. I think I did a little bit of cleaning and a lot of procrastination. I did a little bit of organization and planning for the rest of the week, but I got some reading done. I also watched a lot of anime. Yeah, but I think I am almost out of things I want to watch, and so once that happens, I will be able to focus on other things, I think. Okay, hey, Glimmer Fog this time around means we actually have visibility to get around inside here. So 9 hours, we're going to be down to 6 hours here. Of course, we're back into cabin fever mode. Thanks for the hydrate. We'll officially do the hydrate now. Cheers. Okay, how bad is it? Oh, we're at 40% again. We're so close, though.
Is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay. Here we go. 2024, huh? Doesn't really feel real yet. Yeah, I keep meaning to spend some more time
Come on, little fire.
on my Into the Dark Woods game. And then it gets sidetracked. So... I think tomorrow we'll do that. I haven't decided if I'll stream it, but I will spend some time working on it. Okay, let's see. Oh, what'll probably happen is I will work on it until I get tired, and then I'll take a little break, and then I'll work on it some more. I've given up on the, having sort of a regular development cycle or production schedule for it. I just accept the fact that it's a project that it's a labor of love. I'll work on it when I have time to work on it. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the contest comes up every year. There's also a spring version too. There's the big ones in the fall, and then there's a smaller one in the spring. The main thing is I want to finish it so I feel justified in starting up the next project. And trying to come up with a design that's a little bit more plausible in terms of getting done. This just grew ambition upon ambitions. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. We want another one? Yeah, I guess we'll just focus on bringing back what we can here.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
This amazes me, is that we can rip off the hide with our bare hands on a frozen carcass.
Feels like night is coming.
hide and guts. I think we just take what we got here. It's going to get too dark to see. Super Astrid. Well, trying.
Did I say I hate being cold? Because I really do. It's so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
Yeah, I don't think the other deer is going to last. We'll probably not get the rest of the other deer. But we got back before nightfall and before Aurora. Cabin fever rest. We will have to spend time out here, though. It's too bad we used a coal back there, but this will work.
Come on, little fire.
I'm gonna go up here, drop off our guts. Okay, let's tear up some torches. So for 2024, is there anything else I should consider streaming in addition to the Long Dark? I think my evening streams will probably be mostly the Long Dark. But I'm curious if there's anything else that people would like to see. I mean, I've played around with other things, but either I ended up not really liking streaming them, or there's really not much interest, and so I gave up on doing it after a while. I mean, other survival games? Or adventure games? Well, I'm not doing Baldur's Gate 3 because I haven't bought it, because I'm trying not to distract myself. I want to finish my degree before I get into that point of playing Baldur's Gate 3. I know I'd be too distracted. Hey, Tic Tac Bo, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Something in my backlog. That's a good question. What do I have? Yeah, let's do a shout out for Tic Tac Bo.
Come on, stand here, I'll miss you, and we'll just continue on our way. Okay, well, that kind of worked.
Yeah, it kind of worked. All day long, right? Kind of worked. Okay. And I don't think you started streaming again, Roller, but we'll give you a shout out anyways. So, okay. What are we doing here? Cabin fever risk almost gone. Doesn't it feel like it's Aurora time? See, no sign of the Aurora, it just kind of sounds like it's thinking about being Aurora.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Cabin fever risk 2%. Yeah, maybe we'll just do some more water. Oh. 7 and 9.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay. Yeah, getting a little bit sleepy. It's not even 9 yet for me.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Oh yeah. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, there we go. Let's get this bear coat done. Mm-hmm. The bear coat is done. Happy days. $28. We are much improved now. Heavy, but well protected. Ooh. Wow. So that's a while ago. So let's see. We could patch a deer thing, or we could patch a rabbit thing. 84, 81. This is lighter. This is ultimately easier to patch. The latest London Dare was in October. It was back in October. Yeah. I'm trying to think about like what else is on my list of things to play. Like, I want to pick something that would be entertaining for people to watch, but also is fun for me to play, that I would have a good time playing. Hey, thanks for joining us right now. Hey, a raid from LD. Thank you. Wow, big raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome in, LD. Good to have you here. We are just chilling in Forsaken Airfield.
Or is that perfect chips, Wolf? Yeah, okay, that's perfect chips, Wolf. I'm like, I hear a wolf. Is that me? Oh, it is me. It is me. Shit. Okay, those shout-outs kind of suck, don't they? Oh, no. Oh, no.
A clip and a clip and a clip. Yeah. Hey, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for bringing the big crowd over. We're currently hanging out in Forsaken Airfield, and yeah, I am not a huge fan, but the challenge we're doing right now, if you're not familiar with it, I do a challenge called Roll With It, and basically it's interloper, except every time we enter a new region, we roll a die. And you'll look at the notation there, you'll recognize it if you play D&D or role-playing games. That's basically dice notation, so 1d10 means a 10-sided die, 1d4 means a 4-sided die. So for the first 50 days, it's 1 to 10 days in each major region and 1 to 4 days in each transition zone. But after day 50, it becomes 1 to 20 days in each major region and 1 to 6 days in each transition zone. At day 100, transition zones go to 1 to 8, and at 150, transition zones go to 1 to 10. And so it's... Yeah, thanks for the follow, Romero. So that's kind of where we're at. We are currently, you can look at our trip so far. We're on day 155. We spawned in HRV, and we've been moving around trying to visit all the regions. The goal is to visit all regions. We have to leave on the exit day and be out of the new region, out of the old region by midnight, and we don't know how long we're going to stay in the new region until we arrive. So that does mean that you have to sometimes plan on dragging a lot of food along with you or other resources. If you're in the middle of crafting like a bear coat, like I was, you end up hauling all the materials around all over the place until you finally get a workbench to work. Thanks, LD, for taking care of some of those shoutouts. Let's see, I believe those should be working. Oh, no, my mouse is misbehaving. Here we go. Okay, so anyways, that's where we're at. We just finished crafting our bear coat, so we now have Happy Day, a bear coat. And I'm kind of in this decision between like aviator cap, which is slightly lighter, or rabbit hat, which is heavier but easier to maintain if you don't have a lot of leather. And we don't have a lot of leather. Oh, this challenge, my best attempt, I visited all the regions. I got to my final region, Black Rock, on day 262, and I rolled a 17-day stay for Black Rock, and arrived at night in a blizzard, got lost, got pinned against a cliff face, and surrounded by timber wolves, and died before I even made it through the first day of the last region, when I would have been able to say I'd finished the entire challenge. It was so frustrating. It was like, I survived so much stuff, so many terrible rolls, and then I died at the end because of timber wolves. So yeah, thanks LD for hanging out and for bringing your crew over. Have a good rest. I know you're really busy, and I do appreciate you bringing your friends over here. So yeah, so we're currently hanging out here. We're trying to avoid cabin fever as well. Okay, so what are we up to right now? I think it might be wise for us to Hey, you want a random poem? Okay, we will do that here. That's the other thing, if you're new to this channel. I'm Babbage Nader, and I'm a writer. I'm the author of 2 books of poetry. I'm also a former computer games programmer. I wear a lot of different hats, and I love talking about poetry, love talking about creative writing, love talking about technology. I write about technology a fair bit as well. And I'm currently back in school doing a Master's of Library and Information Science, which is basically the degree that you need to work professionally as a librarian or to have librarian-like roles in different universities or institutes or archives. So, okay. If we missed anything here. So, let's read a poem. Okay, so we're going to read a poem here. Let's go here and see what we got. Use our random poem generator. Or it just basically chooses from a list of titles of poems. Litany. Do we want to do litany? It's been a while. I'm trying to think if we want to do litany. Litany is kind of weird. Maybe we'll skip it. We'll do a different one. I don't know. We'll do a different one. Like, I feel like I did this a couple weeks ago. No. This one's even more complicated, but we'll tackle this one up. Here, let's go. This one's called Void. It comes from my second book of poetry, Babbage's Dream, published by Sundress Publications. And in order to really appreciate this one, we actually need to pull up the PDF for the poem. And it's because the poem works in a very particular way that's a little unusual. And that is that it's a 2-column poem. It runs in 2 columns, which can also be read, the lines could be read across the columns as well. And this will make sense in a second here. Let's see here. I have to look this up here. Okay, so let's bring up the poem PDF. Let's see. And then we'll have to resize this so you can see it. Put it over to the side. So you can see it's actually operating in 2 columns there. So this is a poem called Void. The left-hand column is a passage from Charles Babbage, 19th century mathematician, who's credited as being the person who he basically came up with the idea of the modern computer. He designed, partially built, but never finished what would have been the first general purpose programmable machine, computer. And so in one of his books, he wrote a book on the economy of machines and manufacturers, where he tours all the different manufacturing facilities and industries throughout England. And he notes the interconnectedness between the different industries and identifies possible ways to take what is refuse or garbage from whatever's being thrown away in one industry or factory, and find other uses for it elsewhere in different factories and different industries. And so he writes about like methodologies and manufacturing and economies, both local and across an entire country. And actually, this is what inspired Marx and Engels to write Das Kapital, which is one of the most significant economic critiques of sort of the manufacturing industry and capitalism. So we're going to look at, this is called Void, and what I've basically done is I have one column, which is his words, and a column that expands or responds or alters the direction of his language. So we'll read his passage first on the left, then we'll read the column on the right, and then we'll read them across. So you get a little bit longer one. Void. Of those machines by which we produce power, it may be observed that although they are to us immense acquisitions, yet in regard to two of the sources of this power, the force of wind and water, we merely make use of bodies in a state of motion. By nature, we change the directions of their movement in order to render them subservient to our purposes, but we neither add to nor diminish the quantity of motion in existence. The mind of gears, the heart, a spring ever winding, a chorus of marionettes upon a stage before the red curtain, a field of irises widening in the dark. Whatever we can take in, whatever we process in the silent fist of memory, each flows through the invisible lines, jangling our chains, lifting our wooden limbs, animated by living fire, an ocean of regret we cannot return from, cannot cross, in small steps. How we long to tear free from the needle bent toward home, one tiny shred of night at a time. The way we open our mouths to silence the stars and their brilliant ghosts, to fill the still numb void with words. And then together. Of those machines, the mind of gears, the heart, a spring by which we produce power, ever winding, a chorus of marionettes, it may be observed upon a stage before the red curtain that although they are to us a field of irises widening in the dark, immense acquisitions, whatever we can take in, whatever we process, yet in regard to two, in the silent fist of memory, each of the sources of this power flows through the invisible lines, the force of wind and water, jangling our chains, lifting our wooden limbs. We merely make use of bodies animated by living fire, an ocean of regret in a state of motion we cannot return from, cannot cross. By nature we change in small steps. How we long to tear the directions of their movement, free from the needle bent toward home, in order to render them, one tiny shred of night at a time, subservient to our purposes, the way we open our mouths to silence, but we neither add to nor diminish the stars and their brilliant ghosts, the quantity of motion in existence, to fill the still numb void with words. There you go. That is Void. Okay, so that's a little bit different approach, but it's kind of a fun little puzzle, to write something like that. Yeah, take care, Jex. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you, Becky Bender. Welcome in. Thanks for the applause, Roller. Long Mile Gamer says, I've got a poem for you that I've turned into a song lyric. Discover the sanity of being insane. Losing control, I reside in chains. Hiding my condition. In this I trust. Saddens my rendition of internal conviction. There we go. There we go. Thanks. Okay, so we continue our long stay. We rolled a 20 when we arrived in Forsaken Airfield. 20 it is. Okay, so we've got a full day ahead of us. But that's kind of a big gusty wind. I don't know if we really want to try too hard. Part of me wants to go out to the helicopter. You know, the helicopter that you can actually shelter in overnight if you have a fire. Oh, there goes our torch. But it's a bright day. We'll probably make a... Okay. Okay. I really, really, really want to get away from here for a little bit. I mean, this is a great base. We've got food here, but I also want to be able to explore a little bit more. Maybe kill a bear as well. We waited an hour up here. See if the wind dies down a little bit. Nope, the wind does not die down. I mean, our other thought is we go out and we... Yeah, it's just a big wind. Maybe we just bust down some more stuff here. Did we loot this area? I feel like we didn't. Okay, we got lots of matches, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. I think I forgot that there's this whole section of beds. Yeah, look at that. There's a tin of sardines here. Who knows what other goodies are up here on this side that I missed? In Long Mile, did you, Yeah, it sounds like you end up doing a fair bit of lyric writing then, or like your poems got turned into music. I love those type of collaborations, that type of work, where you get to see your poem become, you know, a song, to see it like turned into a thing that people can experience in a completely different way than just reading it on the page. Oh look, we got more food. Okay, so... Yay, we got another recipe. Oh, this is what we've been looking for. We lost a pot a while back, and we've had to make do with 2 skillets. But I am looking forward to having a pot again. This is good. This is good stuff. Now we can actually make porridge again. If we had any oatmeal, but... Oh, more leather to use to repair things. We need to. What else is here? Anything else? Nothing else. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you've lived a pretty cool life, so... I feel like half of streaming is just being able to tell good stories. Okay, what do we not need here? I think we just go downstairs, drop it off, and come back. Or actually, maybe we leave some water out here. Okay. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. Eating our tin food just because it's extra weight. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Happy New Year, I guess. Happy 2024. What are your big, I don't know if they're resolutions or just things you are hoping to get done this year? Don't need this either. To have an adventure, like a bona fide adventure, to go out somewhere into the wilds and live off the land, you know, fight off wolves with your bare hands. To be isekai'd, you know, to end up in another world, fantasy world with game-like behavior, and you can tell I've been watching too many isekai. Okay. Hey, Weevil, good to see you. What are we doing here? Where are we at right now? We are on day 155. So we're almost halfway through our time here. Yeah, imagine if you Isekai to Great Bear. That would not be good. Getting out of your town for a bit? Yeah. I got to do a little traveling in February. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm flying to Los Angeles. Oh, going to Los Angeles for about a week. Because, it's a long story, but the short version of it is that a few years ago, or actually quite some time ago, several years ago, when I was doing my PhD in literature and creative writing at USC, I ended up taking a class called Writer and Composer that paired us up with people in the graduate music composition program. And one of the composers I worked with back then, I've continued to work with. And that has led to a number of collaborations. And most recently, our most recent project has been an opera. So she was commissioned to do an opera, and then she asked me to write the libretto, the text, and the story for the opera. So I write all the text for the songs, and I develop the story for the whole thing. And so she's been working on writing the music and the songs, to basically arrange everything. And we are finally at the stage where the first few pieces are done, or at least drafts of them are done, and we're going to workshop them. So we're working with USC. USC will do they'll have a group of people that will have learned the material and will perform it. And we will be there in the workshop environment to make decisions about what stays, what goes, what kind of changes are necessary, and I might need to write an alter text, so they want me around for that. So yeah, so that means I get to spend a week in Los Angeles where someone else flies me out there, and I'm put up for a week, which is going to be fun. I haven't lived in Los Angeles since 2015, so. Now, I'm on a phone call later this week with my composer, and I think we're going to iron out the details about how the travel arrangements are going to work. Like, if I book them and they reimburse me, or if they book on my behalf, and everything's taken care of that way. I would call myself a curious person. I am curious about a lot of things, and so I'm always reading, studying, and most of all listening and talking to people, because I find like most of what I learn because I've had a conversation with someone else that inspired me to do more reading or learning about something, or they helped me see something that I hadn't been able to see before, a new way of thinking about something. My father always used to say, my father was a librarian and an educator, and he used to say that that you should talk to everyone. He says, don't judge people and think that there's nothing you can learn from them. He says, everyone has a story. You just have to ask the right question. And I thought that was really, really profoundly true. And I've seen that throughout my life, that, like, if you don't close the door to those conversations, but instead open the door for conversation, you will learn so much more. Some of it intellectual and some of it just about life. And it gives you a much deeper respect and understanding of other people. Yeah, Weevil's good people. Weevil's good people is almost a rhyme. The slant rhyme. Okay. Alright, we're going to go out to the trailer here. Yeah, can you believe we're not going to get out of here until day 166? Oh, such a long ways away. But we also haven't really explored most of the region yet. Just about half of this region. Look, there's a bunny. There's a happy little bunny. We'll just put a little fire down here.
One
Okay.
little fire.
Yep. Do we have a fire pit? I can't remember there's a fire pit here. Let's take a look. Is there a fire can? Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter where we put this fire. I think what we'll try to do, though, is put the fire... See if we can put a fire in here. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could put it in there? Oh, we couldn't put it in here. Okay.
One little fire.
I'm not entirely certain, but I would guess it's because they have one sound effect for throwing torches. Okay. $7.25. Oops. See? LMG is... It's a person of many talents. Becky, you're a chef as well? Wow. I mean, you're going to the it's just really fascinating to me how many chefs we have in the TLD community. Obviously there's LD, and then Chef Maria, another chef, and you. And I'm trying to remember who else I've heard of. I know there's at least one other one. Okay, we need a rabbit here. Yeah, let's see what we got in the trailer. Oh, joy, finally. Okay. We've been really low on fuel for our lantern, and so I've been worried that we were going to run completely out soon. But with the jerry can, we suddenly can make things work. Candy bar. Anything else? Is that glimmer fog or something? Or is it just the light angle of the light? I think it's just the... Weird. That's just kind of cool. They're almost glowing. Almost.
Dusk, so I can't be far behind.
Yeah, I've worn a lot of hats over the years. I did my undergrad in computer science and math, and minored in mathematics, and took creative writing classes on the side. And then worked for about 5 years in the computer games industry in Los Angeles. And then left and did an MFA in creative writing. And then a PhD in literature and creative writing. And along the way, wrote 2 books of poetry that got published, one of which won a big award, and then after the PhD, the academic job market collapsed. It was already collapsing, but it was pretty bad in the 2015 to 2017 range to try to find anything if you weren't a U.S. citizen and you were in the U.S. Because there was just no support for immigration policy was in flux, and no one wanted to risk hiring someone who wasn't a U.S. citizen. So that put me in a bad spot. Eventually I pulled the plug and moved back to Canada. But by then I was working independently as a writing consultant, manuscript editor, and writing coach. So I basically was doing all the work of being a professor without having to grade anything, which was wonderful. But now I've decided to go back and do a master's in library science so I can work professionally as a librarian. Because I figure having a more traditional 9-to-5 job gives me some measure of like a stable baseline income, on top of which I can continue to do the writing consulting work that I do. So yeah, I if anything, I just I'm always changing my mind. Well, I get interested in a lot of different things, and so I tend to stay involved in different things. Engineer your dreams, become the architect of your future. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I try to take a realistic look at my goals, my ambitions. Like if this is what I want to do, in the future, or like what things I would like to accomplish, then what am I doing now to get there? So if I want like a stable baseline income, and in Canada it's easier to survive, because our healthcare system works better than the US, which isn't saying that it works perfectly, it just works better. That I'm not hung up with the anxieties of needing to have my healthcare connected through my employment. It's just always there, right? And so that's a nice safety net, but the consulting work varies too much month to month, year to year, and it goes through seasonal ups and downs. Like during certain seasons, people are just on, they're busy with holidays, right? So I don't get as many clients, and work drops off, and it's not good as if you want a consistent income. And it's also complicated when you want to, like, let's say I'm apartment hunting or planning to buy a house, right? It's like, not that I'm in a place to buy a house right now, but if I were, that consulting work is not as compelling as saying like you have this regular baseline income that comes in every single month. Yeah, so like I make plans for myself in terms of like stuff I want to get done. Some things I like make adjustments on and say like, okay, that was a cool goal or dream for myself like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I'm no longer as enthusiastic about it, and I don't think I need to like devote everything to getting there. Like, for instance, I really thought that I would love being a university professor as a full-time tenure track professor of creative writing somewhere. And I still think I would have been a good professor. But unfortunately, the market changed, and it's mostly adjuncts and very few full-time positions. And it's super, super competitive at this point. And then if I were on the market again right now, I'm in this weird limbo where I am too qualified in terms of publications and accomplishments for an entry-level position, but I don't have the full-time teaching record track that they would expect if they wanted to hire me into an associate position. So that leaves me competing for assistant professor positions that are in many respects considered long-term investment positions. If you're going to hire someone into a tenure track role, you're expecting to have them there for 15, 20 years. At least that's the hope, is that they stick around for at least 10 to 15 years. And I might not look it, but this 2024 is the year I turn 50, right? So yeah, I think there is that calculation. On paper, they're looking at me, and they're not supposed to look at my age, but they can do math. And they're thinking, how much left, how much is left in this guy's professional life? And so, I feel like, unfortunately, there's a bias towards hiring young in the education sector, university sector, because they want to keep people around for a long period of time. So if it were a visiting professorship or something like that, yeah, I'd be fine. If I were a writer in residence, which I've been, at public libraries, that's fine. But yeah, they don't know what to do with me, because of age. So I think that's definitely a thing. Whereas in the library system, people recognize that people often come to the library as a second or third career. And so there is not really a surprise when someone is a little bit older. I am not the oldest person in my cohort in the master's program. I'm probably the second oldest person. And I am, age-wise, closer to my professors. And in some cases, I'm older than my professors. And that's just the reality, right? I don't care about that. I'm there to learn. Yeah. So it is a little frustrating that my most recent first choice career to teach professionally, I had to readjust my plan and say, that's not likely to happen for a lot of different reasons. And also I found that the parts of teaching I enjoyed most were the mentoring, the one-on-one coaching of individuals, and the teaching side of it and discussion side of it. And I hated the grading side of it. I really, really fundamentally questioned why we graded things in the first place. It was like, you know what? So much of grading is arbitrary. And ultimately, we are pressured into, so often we're pressured to, like, we're teaching the students, we're telling them that writing is about process. And then we're grading them on product that is really the draft and not the final version, because there's no time. There's no time to really coach them through the development of a really good essay. Like, I know some people can do this, but it's hard for administrators to accept that it may actually be better to have students work on 2 essays for their entire semester, and just watch them go through the whole cycle and learn how to do that entire process and keep refining and refining and refining, and then deliver the final product after it's been through multiple stages of revision and rethinking. Right? Instead of rushing to deliver something at the end. So I really don't like sort of the model that a lot of, and I'm not saying that it's often the way that it's been codified within a particular department or a particular program. It's not really what the professors would like to do. It's often that their hands are tied by the program until they get tenure and have the ability to kind of shape more of what the curriculum looks like. And then even talking to my professors at my university right now, it's like, even to change the syllabus of a course or to change what's taught within a course requires many levels of review, and it can take months, sometimes years, for a course to end up on the catalog as something that's available. And that is deeply frustrating. Whereas if I work privately, I could just simply design a course and say, hey, I'm offering this 5-week course. You know, if you're interested, this is what the fee is for that. No. Okay, let's see. We want to make sure we. Okay, 10 hours sleep. Yeah, Trooper does a good job of making university work. Okay, is there anything else we want to fix? Okay, we were going to check and see how many guts we have. We have 1 working gut. But there's other ones that are almost done, so. Fix this, or fix this. Okay, let's fix... You're an employee reimbursement administrator. You have to make certain that the employees are not spending company funds on PlayStations and beer for healthcare and hospice care company. So you work 50 hours a week, and then you're prospecting for gold in Arizona. And you flip motorcycles. See, that's a nice combination of things. I think that's a really cool combination of things to be involved with. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, and I think it's because Trooper has been embedded long enough within his institution that they trust him to, you know, to be able to develop his own courses. That's a really enviable place to be in, and often when you're starting out, you don't get that. Okay, let's see, what else can we fix? We definitely want to do this. Oh, no wonder we're so heavy. That's like... Okay, let's see. Let's terraform. Okay. Yeah, that trooper I know because he's back when Legal Kimchi was streaming. Trooper would sometimes be in Legal Kimchi's stream, and sometimes so that's how I got to know Trooper that way. Well, I guess we're gonna wait a little bit longer here. Which, if you're into role-playing games and want sort of a deeper dive on a lot of like history, politics, legal, or ethical concerns, do check out like Legal Kimchi on YouTube now. I think he does everything on YouTube. On YouTube. Let's see if I have him. But he does these long form essays that are terrific. And they're really mostly about different aspects of role-playing games.
Oh, it's about to get argumentative in here. I've been playing for the last 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find them here. But yeah, really, really like thought-provoking, deep, extremely well-researched, well-written, well-presented, and well cut together. Like he edits really well as well. And he has guests sometimes as well. He's just like, yeah. I wish he was streaming again, but I know it's just not possible to do everything, so I think that was one of his choices, was to cut back on the streaming side of things. Okay, how windy is it? It just sounds windy? No, it's full-blown windy. We'll bust up a chair and see if we can get... I just want a break here. I just want to be able to get out there with a torch. And not have it be so gusty. Sorry. I don't know. What do we feel like doing? Okay, finally, break in the wind. Okay. We'll make our way back to the hangar because that's where all our goodies are. You know what we could do? Okay, let's do this. Okay. Motorcycle rights advocacy group. Yeah, you sound definitely like someone that would be fun to watch and listen to in the stream.
Jeez, this is cold. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay, let's drop off some more stuff here. These guys can cure. This can wait. Too many torches. Let's drop these ones. Okay.
I need to find food.
Let's get our food.
I can't feel my hands.
Yeah, I think the thing I've learned with streaming is that consistency beats out length. Like, if you want a following, just be consistent with your schedule. Even if you're only streaming once or twice a week. You know, if you're stay true to that schedule, then people appreciate it. They'll remember. They'll come back. If you're too random, then people will only be able to watch things after the fact.
If I don't warm up soon.
So most of my streams are only about like 2.5 hours in length. That's really like what that's my capacity really. I did a longer stream last night for New Year's, but I actually started it later than I usually did because I knew I wasn't going to do like a 6-hour stream. That was just not going to happen. So let's take this all down so it's easier to see where we are. It'd be really nice to have a fire barrel on this level, but we don't get one. Okay. No more cat noises? Well, not yet. Not yet. We were pretty focused on looting the main places on the way in and trying to keep well fed and trying not to lose too much condition from wind and cold. So we prioritized that. We succeeded. We succeeded in getting through this, but oops. Okay. Yeah, we will get there. Just gonna work methodically on getting stuff geared up. Getting ourselves set up here. Oh, I just realized we didn't have to use a torch to do this. That was annoying. How are we doing for matches right now? Okay, so it's 24, 49. Another 24 is 73. We're still good for matches. Okay. I feel bad. A little bit bad, but I think we're just going to put it out. Let's make another arrow. Okay, it's LMG's going to bed. Take care. Thanks for hanging out with us and sharing a bit about what you've been up to. Yeah, I do need to get more cattails, and because I'm certain that the challenge is going to be really hard when we go into the zone of contamination. Plus, I still have to figure out how to enter the zone of contamination from. Supposedly, you can do it from here. Now the question is, how do we do that? So I'm going to have to look that up, or watch a tutorial, or figure out how to do it somehow. Okay, so let's look at our stuff. We got 2 guts now. That means we could do some more repairs. We can fix the mitts here. Take care. You just go ahead and fix this one. we'll do it just to lighten our load and also to give us another option. Okay, we are probably going to wrap up here soon too. This is 2-hour mark. We got more meat here to eat as well. And this gut is almost cured. Okay, so let's also think about who we can go raid. Transition zone is near the bear cave on the lake. Oh, that's good news. So we'll definitely have to check that out. That'll be a good excuse to make a move out to that side. As it is, we are currently 157. So there's only 9 days left. Yeah, I'll have to study that a little bit. We've still got probably 2 more streams before we get there. But it's good to know. Okay, so we are officially on day 157. Which means we have 9 days left. 9 days left. 9 days left. Okay, so I think that means 4 and 5, or 5 and 4. We went from day 7, so we're averaging about 4 days per stream. So it might take 3 streams to get there. It depends what we're up to when we get to the new location. Okay. But in any case, yeah, I think it's time for us to let's see, let's sleep and we'll wrap up. Okay, so that's 157. Okay, let us find someone to rate. Or should we read one more poem before we go? Maybe we'll read one poem before we go. Yeah, so bonus poem tonight. We'll read one more poem, and the poem will be long. Okay, so this also comes from my second book, From Babbage's Dream. This is part of a series of poems that takes inspiration from different programming terms, variable types, things like that. Anyways, words that you would see as a programmer or be familiar with. And so this one is long, which refers to the it's a variable type or data type for storing long integers or very large numbers. Okay. And these poems tend to take the word because explore the word in both the programming sense and in the general sense that we think of it. Yeah. Long. As long as possible, the story continues while there is breath in the iron-lung moon, while the stars inch onward in their slow, unremitting deaths, the night unspooling the horizon's dark line, while the cicadas call from the edge of the earth, while there is room enough to receive, while there is rain, the parking lots forming oceans, the alleys, rivers, the old lady on the corner in her bed of papers, a cocoon spun out of every breath she exhales, her face rough with words and dates, the photographs of strangers. Tonight, the streets all fold into one, their names meaningless, and here everything fits inside this hole I've carved in my chest, the space where I let the wind sound the strange song that I carry with me, that says everything and nothing about who I am and who I forgot to be. Which oddly fits in with some of our earlier discussions. So, yeah, so kind of playing with the word long in how it applies to long things, as well as longing, and a sense of immensity, things that are very big, that are almost beyond the scope of our imagination. So that's where that comes from. So thanks for listening. Always a pleasure. And we will try to find someone to raid now. Let's see here. Okay, so we have Tic-Tac-Toe, Deadpool, Slid Holmes, Original Guru, Eladun, I think we'll visit Tic-Tac-Toe. Tic-Tac-Toe has got a great voice. So, yeah, I think we'll do that. So we raided Tic-Tac-Toe recently, but I think it's still fun to raid. Okay. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Becky. Good to meet you and get to know you as well. Okay, we'll get this raid started. Okay, so I think we've got everyone in. Let's head on over. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next stream. If you want to hang out and chat on the other side of the raid, that's great too. Otherwise, we'll catch you again another stream.